Yeah, just for a few minutes.
Meeting is now streaming live on Custom Live streaming service. This show in no way supports acts of terrorism, regardless of how warranted they may be. Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good, pal.
I put the other guys in the waiting room just because it's an option. I think you're able to break off into groups or something.
Oh, nice.
I don't remember.
Nice. Got some nice fat stacks there, pal.
Payday.
Yeah, man. Hiring bonus.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
Breakout rooms. Oh, there's breakout rooms. Oh, that's exciting. What happens when that happens? We go to breakout rooms.
I don't know.
Assign. Mark. I don't know what happens. Open all rooms. Join a room.
Calling all cars.
Join a room.
Check.
Warning would have been nice.
I don't understand what's going on.
No.
Well, if you haven't figured it out, when I look down at you and you lean forward to talking to that black phallus, it's mine.
I'm back.
Well, the screen's moved and now it doesn't make logistical sense. Now it's Missy's dick.
See on my screen, you're above John.
Yeah. And I look down like this. That's why it looks like Jeff is ducking. He's just like, fuck, man.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh, now he's just gonna play musical squares.
Where should we be?
I don't know. I thought John was going to tell me to mind the stepchildren for a second.
Is that better? John, you want her on top or down here? Where?
High five.
Oh.
So, we talked about it last night, but only 2 people watch the show, so it doesn't matter. We can repeat whatever we want. Missy was.
I feel an odd amount of people watch this on the restream.
So far,
like the
Facebook gets like 40 to 50, which is weird.
I know.
Because I ignore them completely. The ones that I pay.
No, but those like guaranteed that people that at least you know, but we probably most of us know.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When Missy and I met in person, she was disappointed.
I was not disappointed. I was just.
She was.
I was not disappointed. I was just a little taken aback.
She was like Princess Leia getting rescued by Luke Skywalker as a stormtrooper.
Aren't you a little short to be a stormtrooper?
I just had envisioned him like, I don't know, like tall and tall. Like he's tall, but he's not as
So what are
big
you
as
like?
I thought.
5'11"?
Me?
I'm
6
5'7".
foot? No, Jeff.
6'1" in my heyday, 6 foot now that I'm broken. Yeah,
So
right.
me and John come around the side like we were told. Rebecca pulls us in through that weird bathroom door that cuts through. And we put
You
her
come on the side like you're told.
Yeah.
Oh, just
Yes,
put our
Minister.
bags in the back room, and then Jeffrey's in their bedroom, and Rebecca's like, "Jeffrey's in here, come in," and she just ushers me in the room. And I honestly didn't even know until he said something that he was like, "In what'd you say, your chonies and your undershirt?" I didn't even notice because all I could think was he's not as big as I thought.
Yeah.
What she said.
Hello.
Shut up! Oh my god. Okay, walked into that
But-
one. Sorry, guys. Not what I
but-
meant.
She was like, "You're not as thick as I expected."
John's just sitting here watching like in slow motion. Like, here it
Train,
comes.
train wreck. Yeah.
It's like, I don't understand, Jeff. Your dick print should have been much bigger. Much bigger.
At least on that pillow.
Right.
Oh, Lord.
Snail trail left on Julie's pillow.
That should have been like a,
There was a lot of
two
free cum.
stomping mushroom stamp.
A lot of free cum.
That happens when you smell her panties, dude. That's what happened.
I was wearing.
Jeffrey was much nicer to me, though. I didn't even notice. I
That's
honestly
because he
didn't
likes
even,
sauerkraut.
didn't even notice what you were wearing.
I was wearing my Tommy pair of Tommy Johns and this T-shirt. I was like, "Hi, hug me." I don't care.
Why are you wrapping your leg around me? This is so weird.
I kicked the dildo under the.
Why are you rubbing up and down? Pogo stick! Ha! Pogo stick!
Wow, Pee Wee Herman. That's amazing.
Jeffrey was much nicer in his assessment of me, though.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so you were much nicer in your first assessment of me.
Oh yeah.
You've spent like how many hours on this show together? What do you mean?
I know, but I don't.
But meeting somebody in person is totally different.
I thought.
although you were
little
not
tall-
different,
she's,
John.
She's tall. I
No,
thought.
I'm exactly the same.
Yes.
I thought.
I'm an angry bald man that just says things inappropriately, gets us banned on at least 2 or 3 media sites. Fuck. I was
I'd
hoping
like to
be-
talk about why Biden's in the Illuminati and he's dragging this country down into the gutter.
He doesn't even.
Look
do
how
politics
everyone's like,
anymore.
no, tell me more. Okay.
My first reaction was, "Wow." When she walked out, I said to Rebecca, "She's so beautiful. She's more beautiful in person." And she said, "Yeah. Do I need to be worried?
No.
Maybe. I don't know."
and
You can't
Jeffrey
go
went, "No, I'm only the king of the something else's."
King of the twos. Right. Don't you fucking
I'm
Give
at
me-
least a 3, huh?
anybody above a 6 is yeah.
Off limits.
So yeah. And I didn't tell her right away. I don't know why. I got shy because I immediately wanted to be like, "Oh my god, you're so beautiful," but I didn't. I was a little shy. But then later on, I think that night,
Yeah.
it was this. What's it called? In your eyes, light.
the heat.
It was. It was a say anything moment, kind of.
I am complete. Your eyes.
She was cutting towards the house to go inside. Go ahead, Missy. Then what happened?
I slid open John's favorite door. He could not open all night. And he just says, "Missy." And I remember, "Missy,
Slide open that favorite door.
shut up." Oh my God. I'm going to quit talking. Damn it.
Like a screen door in a battleship.
Slide open my back door.
I'm so done.
It was side to side.
There came a rap at my chamber door.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No, he called my name and I turned around and I was like, "Yeah."
Oh, I'm sure he
Oh
did.
my God. No, nope.
A
No.
proctologist wet dream. Jesus Christ.
God damn it. Shit.
Edgar
Oh, no.
Allan Poe, proctology, and rectal love all in one shot.
Or we could just call her Peg. Peg.
Wrecked him.
Barely knew him.
Knew him.
Damn near killed him.
Oh, that too.
So I called out from across.
Oh Christ.
Yes!
I'm done.
Missy. Hey, you're beautiful. FYI, you need to know that. She said, "Goosh." I need a towel.
Oh my.
No, she said 3 or 4 towels.
Hmm.
It's like, thank God there's pool towels.
Wow. So
Yeah,
not a
but-
hand towel.
A washcloth is definitely a no.
I'm teasing. I didn't see her gush. She said
I
thank
hate you guys.
you. She blushed and
Could
said
you
thank
hear it?
And then Rebecca looked at me and I said,
Squish, 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 squish.
That song by Jimi Hendrix. Waterfall. Do-do-do-do-do-do.
look, I want to be taller in my videos, so I think I'm going to take up more space.
I think that ship has sailed, dude. She's like, I thought you were going to be so much taller. It was so random, too. She's like, I thought you were going to be taller. What?
Yeah, but you don't sweat much for a fat dude. That was nice. I was like, no, I do. If it makes you feel any better, I thought you weren't as fat as I expected. She told me that. Yeah.
I said it much nicer than that.
You did. Somehow it was a compliment. I was like, thanks. In your head, I was a super fat guy. Oh, no. Turned out better than we expected, I guess. You know.
See, this would have been worth going for the reunion for this shit.
Oh,
They didn't have to
dude.
deal.
This
If we just
was
At the
amazing.
house,
we
the house
jettisoned
was fun.
every story before the last like 5 minutes. That's great. If it was just this, that'd have been great.
We had an amazing time when we were at the house.
It was fun.
So much fun.
I had a fun weekend. It really did.
And like this year,
In spite
definitely
of
included. Every time this damn reunion
Talking.
shit comes up, I'm like, dude, anybody that I want to talk to, I'm in touch with. I don't need to go to the reunion to fucking hang out. Because there's always somebody fucking creepy at the reunion, man.
there was somebody creepy. They were cool. Some people I didn't really remember from school were invading my private space. Hi, I'm Beth. Do you remember me? I'm like, I do. Really? Yeah, you were the one girl who had the curly hair. Oh my God, you totally remember me.
As her badge is right there. What she used to look like in high
With the high school picture, yeah.
Wow, I remember you used to wear glasses. You don't wear glasses anymore?
And then
Wow.
after she's up
Wait a minute,
here,
weren't you a dude previously? What the fuck?
she was up here talking to me for a while.
So you met Jen.
She was scoping me out, and then Rebecca came by, and she's like, "Hi, honey." She gave me a kiss, and she's like, "Oh, you're with her? I'm so sorry." She's like, "I'm so sorry. Let's create a little space here." And then she starts talking about her husband, who's a fucking firefighter, and I'm like, "Where are your boundaries?" She's like, "Yeah, he's like 10 years older than me. I started fucking him when I was 16. And then I married him. He's hot."
The movie Teachers.
I was like, "Awesome. That's outstanding."
That's
man."
some like fast to divulge shit going on right there.
Yeah.
A lot of open conversations going on at the reunion.
People tend to feel strangely comfortable with me, and I don't know why. And then
Alright.
Summer, some dude that we went to school with, I don't know who he is. He's a firefighter also. He brought his arm candy with him, and she was very nice. And as soon as she found out, I was talking to the group of people. We were standing at a table, and then as soon as, of course, Rebecca comes like scooting in, like, "Hi," and everyone's like, "Oh my God, I love you so much," to her. And then now I get the correlation. They're like, "Oh, you guys are together? Oh, that's amazing. Oh my God." And then now the hot chicks want to talk to me. And I'm like, I didn't know I got social cachet with your personality everywhere we went. This is pretty handy.
That's how it works.
And I've got the Craig DeGraff leverage right now, so I have no problem talking to this blonde bombshell. "Oh my God, seriously? Let's talk about beating our kids. Did you beat your kids?" "Yeah. No, just one of them. Just my son. My daughters are smarter." She said the girls are always smarter. Right?
Yeah.
For a while, yeah, and then you hit that plateau, and then they're, you know.
John, he's just gonna go for it right now, isn't he?
You just hope they can get a job or something, or maybe they find a man who's, you know, willing to take care of him. Oh, she's like, my first husband beat me.
Oh my
She's like, my first husband beat me. And I was like, really? What did you do? She's like,
You have to understand, in Santee, all of his comments are just—they're not okay. It's completely fine. They're like, oh, it's pretty G-rated shit.
Yeah, my first husband, he used to beat me, and I'm like, ooh, what'd you do? And she's like, first time, nothing. I was like, ooh, tell me about it. And she's like, I was at home. I had a newborn at home, a baby, and he came home. He would been golfing all day, and he was on painkillers and booze, and that's not a good combination. And
I object.
I'm like, huh? He sounds like a puss.
Sustained.
Sounds like you can't handle his shit.
Yeah. A little Vicodin and a fucking beer.
Fucking a 6-pack of beer. It sounds like
Come on,
fucking
man.
heaven.
Until the
Fact,
next
where's my
day when you're
Vicodin?
driving in traffic with those Vicodin rage fits.
Right. And then she's
I
like,
don't want to drive in this town. You know, it's like,
I didn't want to go out with him because he was drunk, and then he grabbed the baby out of my arms and was like, I'm
Oh,
taking the baby,
Jesus.
and then he dropped the baby on his head, literally on his head, and then
that's awful.
called 911, you know, and then I was like, wow, I don't know why you're telling me this, but how's the baby? Oh, he's like,
It wears a helmet now, but
Six-
it's good.
he's 16 now. We're hoping to get him in the second grade, so
Yeah, I mean the bus is a little small, but the windows apparently taste like snozzberries.
schnozberries, yeah.
Tastes like anything is, I think, the relative thing right there. Yeah.
What's that joke about
That's
getting
awful.
a retarded girl to swallow?
Jesus
come-
Christ.
Just come,
Tell
on
her
the
it's paste.
just come
Oh.
on the window and she'll handle it from there. Yay, that's a good
Kind of
one.
hot. No, I'm kidding.
Hey.
Did you know glue comes in sticks?
Mm. I called. You. I called my. I
We're on a
called.
fast road to hell all of a sudden.
That was so good.
Wow. Wow.
Glue
Oh,
came
wow.
in sticks.
That was good.
Ugh.
We got
There's
It's
been
his
moments
fault.
that y'all have left me a little like dumbfounded, but I think I did like, oh my God, I'm speechless. Ooh.
come on the window.
Brownies. Need brownies.
Hey, do you remember
Ovaltine.
Ovaltine.
those of us who are in from California? Do you remember the brown bus company that transported the special needs kids? Do you remember the name of
No,
it? Ted's.
you're shitting
So
me.
Ted's bus company. They
You
do
are
the
shitting
short
me.
brown buses in
No.
San Diego.
That's not true.
Yes, they're a private company, but they had all the short buses.
Mm.
So Ted and Tard became synonymous with each other. Obviously, I think I learned that from Matthew Dixon, probably in the second grade.
Followed closely by TED Talks.
I'm
Yeah,
like, look,
that's
hey,
right.
Ted's. Hey, there's a Ted. You're a Ted. So Ted.
I
yeah,
remember.
Yeah, that's where. Yeah, it came from that. Ted's.
Thought it was short for Tard. They were just like,
No, in California, it was based on the name of the bus company who
I have
carried
no
the
idea.
Teds. Yeah,
No
Ted's. Yeah. Let's see if they're still in business. I
please
wanna-
do.
I
Please
wanna-
do.
Yeah, here comes the Ted bus.
It's gonna be like the discount version of Uber. Maybe they'll show up and give us a lift somewhere. Uber pool, Ted pool. Hey,
San Diego, California, Ted's. Let's see. Bus routes. Ted S. location.
Why did we go live again? I'm just
Ted
it
Williams.
is concerning. I actually feel the previous material before we went live was probably better than anything that's taken place since. But I mean, less offensive since we've gone live.
For sure.
Self-help
that's your
show. Welcome.
story. And that's your story, and you're sticking to it, huh, buddy?
Jeffrey
Yep. Just
Sinatra.
like melted gummy bears on a pillowcase.
Did you know
I got
that
some- I got some gummy bears. They're in my pocket.
Been in my pocket all day. They're nice and warm.
Ted's bus service?
Didn't he get in trouble for like some kind of child porn thing?
I think so.
The redheaded.
Jeffrey
yeah.
Jones, right?
Let's find out.
And yet then he was also in Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, I think, after that.
I think I remember that. He was also in what, Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah, but that was before the
Or he was outed.
he was outed.
Fox News, Ferris Bueller's Jeffrey Jones pleads guilty in sex offender case. 2010.
Yeah, I think I saw him in
Jeffrey
Bethesda
Jones,
working
Paul
at a bowling
Paul
alley.
Rubens charged in sex probe. Sex probe sounds fun.
And then the dad from from Seventh Heaven was even worse, right? Didn't
No.
he?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he
was-
got
he
busted
was-
for some.
Wasn't he banging one of the little kids on the show?
Oh,
That I don't know.
And
After
not
Paul
like the
Rubens-
older of the kids. It was, dude,
Wow.
it's just like with fucking Full House. Dude, Kimmy Gibbler used to come into one of my restaurants. She was like living down the street. She was one of my neighbors. So running to her at the grocery store.
Oh, lewd and lascivious acts with a minor child. Nice.
Oh, a 14-year-old boy, no less.
14-year-old boy, yeah. But he and Pee Wee were indicted.
Who is this?
So he was just taking photos. He didn't actually fuck this kid.
Yeah, he didn't get caught. He was grooming him. Rubens, Pee Wee Herman, was expected to surrender to police Friday and post $20,000 bail. Garcia said he will be arraigned December 19th, faces a maximum of 1 year in county jail and a $2,500 fine. He played in 91. Wait. Is this
I didn't know Pee Wee got in trouble for this too. I
Again?
thought it was just
Oh yeah.
he was just
Why you
jerking
get
off
why no
in
one
a
goes to
theater.
theaters anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Authorities searched the homes of both men November 16th, 2001. The district attorney said the statute of limitations on the misdemeanors would have run out Saturday if the charges had not been filed. The 91 Rubens pleaded no contest to an indecent exposure charge after being arrested in a Sarasota movie theater. We know about that one.
Yeah.
So the two of them were complicit in this. Interesting.
Huh. I didn't know Rubens was involved in that.
Oh. Rubens was charged with one misdemeanor count possessing materials depicting children under the age of 18 engaged in sexual conduct. Got it. Well,
Now look up the Seventh Heaven dad,
yeah.
because I think that one was really bad.
I feel like no one's ever seen that guy since.
I think I saw him in a Cialis commercial.
Oh, yeah, that's good. You want to make sure you get that hard dick 3 days in a row
Fuck.
for the children. Oh, domestic violence. Stephen Collins, pastor, dead in Seventh Heaven, admits to sexually abusing who?
Preyed on 3 young girls.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, and Jeremy London also, right? He got busted for domestic.
Stephen Collins, pastor, dead
Jeremy
in
Lin,
Seventh
that's the
Heaven,
guy from Mallrats, right?
sexually
Yeah,
abusing.
well, it's
underage
either him
girls.
or his brother. I always get them mixed up because they're twins.
Oh, okay.
The NYPD Special Victims Unit.
Wait a minute. He molested a girl in 72?
Oh, what? What?
Well, given he was like 50 when we were in high school, right?
Molested one girl. Wait. Investigating allegations that Stephen Collins molested one girl in 1972 and exposed himself to two others. Who gives a fuck what he did in 1972?
How old would he have been in 72?
Like what? Like 10?
20 something, right?
Jesus.
Was there a victim saw him on?
This was in the middle of the hashtag Me Too, right? Everybody was.
No, this was a long time ago. This shit came out.
That's crazy. Allegations that come up from 1972. That makes.
Stephen Collins, pastor dad in Seventh Heaven, admits to sexually abusing underage girl, exposing himself to 2 others. Audio.
Oh, he was born in 47, so
The actor who played a pastor on the Wholesome
So he
TV
was
hit Seventh
23.
Heaven is now an accused pedophile who allegedly preyed on 3 young girls. The NYPD Special Victims Unit is investigating allegations that Stephen Collins molested one girl in 1972 and exposed himself to the other two, a police source said. Collins played the Reverend Eric Camden, a father of 7, on the popular family drama from 1996 to 2007. His alleged sick acts became public after a victim saw him on television and told her husband, TMZ.com reported. That alleged victim, a relative of Collins' first wife, Marjorie Weinman, and her concerned husband reached out to Collins' second wife, Faye Grant, with the disturbing accusation. Collins, 67, allegedly confessed during a therapy session in January 2012. There was one moment of touching where her hand, I put her hand on my penis, Collins is heard saying in an apparent recording of the therapy session confession that TMZ
How did the recording of a
Oh.
therapy session get out?
Yeah.
He exposed himself to the girl. No, I mean, no. Partial, maybe, I think, he replies.
Wow.
Seventh Heaven, the
So did he ever go to jail?
/TLP.
I don't know.
His victim
I don't think he did.
told the NYPD he often wandered into her room wrapped in a towel and exposed himself, TMZ reported. Collins also allegedly admitted to exposing himself to 2 more girls under 14, though it was not immediately clear when or where those incidents took place. In the presence of his therapist, Stephen admitted that he has engaged in a long-term pattern of sexually abusing minor children, including sexually molesting 3 young girls over a decade ago, Grant said in a divorce declaration filed last year and obtained by the Daily News. Grant, 57, said she urged Collins to seek proper treatment for pedophilia.
Yeah.
but
Why would he do that?
Jesus.
He would get the recordings would come out.
Yeah.
So basically, if he didn't go to a shrink for therapy,
Right.
divorce said
he wouldn't have been in trouble.
Wait, go back up. Sir said it was closed. What?
But a formal police report was never filed. The source
Oh, a
said
formal police report was never filed?
found no victims living in LA. Collins hasn't been charged with a crime. Requests for comment to him, his manager and his divorce lawyer went unanswered Tuesday.
Oh, he gave this shit over to the cops himself, and then they gave it to the press.
9 p.m. after receiving reports of a gunshot inside, but cops quickly declared it a false alarm. Grant said in her filing that the actor admitted the act shortly after she received 2 letters and a phone call from the husband of the New York victim in December 2012. The husband of the alleged victim berated me for my cowardice in not turning Stephen into the police, she said, adding that the man threatened a civil lawsuit. Grant said in a statement Tuesday that she did not leak the tape. I woke up today to learn that an extremely private recording I handed over to the authorities in 2012 per their request was recently disseminated to the press, she stated. I had no involvement
Couldn't he sue the shit out of them?
in media. First time in 8 years.
Well, it's the police that
Yep.
leaked it, right? That's what we just saw in there.
Me, Craig at Beverly Mitchell, me at Jessica Beal, at Real Barry Watson, Cat. No, at Mac_Smack Stephen Collins posts a Seventh Heaven reunion photo on September 17th, 2014. At Stephen Collins via Twitter.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not on his side. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, I'm not
Right.
supporting
No,
him.
Right.
Abhorrent.
What the fuck's the point of going to therapy? Isn't that supposed to be like confession?
Yeah, it's supposed to
Confidential.
be confidential.
Patient, client, or patient doctor confidentiality or something?
Isn't it confidential
Goes under-
unless there's
Goes under
a
HIPAA
private
somehow,
meeting?
doesn't it?
I don't know.
Like,
Yeah, but I
Well,
knew
it's under HIPAA,
I
but
had
isn't
heard
it
that he
unless you-
was a perv too.
It does fall under HIPAA, but isn't it unless you're going to harm yourself or currently harm someone else?
yeah.
I think if there's a felony pops up in there, they're allowed to give it to the authorities.
72 though, 1972.
That
if you-
there's
If
no
you haven't
statute
killed
limit-
somebody, everything else is run out.
Yeah, it's like what 7-year statute of limitations.
I don't know
10
what it
years.
is
I
for-
don't know what it is.
But yeah, I mean, whatever it was, if he did it during the 70s, unless he killed somebody,
Yeah. Or what was it? I think
Yeah,
after
'cause it'd been
that,
what,
the
40,
Catholic
72?
Church in Boston, they tried to
1892,
stretch out
1812.
to 15 years for statute of limitations for pedophilia. I don't know.
I don't know.
I watched that. What was that movie they did about the Boston Globe where all
Well,
that shit came out?
Spotlight.
Yeah, that's it.
and there is some instances with some crimes that if it hasn't been reported when it happened, if there has to be very specific circumstances that the time doesn't start until the report starts. So even if it happened back then and it's just getting reported like today, you still have that however many years. But it's very, very specific, and I can't remember. I watched something on it, but it's been a while.
Yeah, I would just think that so that all that did was ruin his career.
Oh, yeah, it was over. He hasn't
The
done anything
victims didn't get anything out of it.
No.
It just ruined his career.
Time limits for charges. State criminal statute of limitations. There's a law that forbids prosecutors from charging someone with a crime that was committed more than a specified number of years ago. The main purpose of these laws is to ensure that convictions are based upon evidence, physical or eyewitness, that has not deteriorated with time. After the time period has run, the crime can no longer be prosecuted, meaning the accused person is essentially free. Each state establishes its own statute of limitations, often with different time limits for distinct types of crime. State criminal statutes of limitations and tolling. Generally speaking, prosecutors' clock ticks only if the criminal suspect remains in the state. If the individual flees or goes into hiding, the clock will pause and will resume running when and if the suspect person re-enters the state. This is to prevent criminals from avoiding the consequences of their crimes simply by running and hiding. So, categories of crimes. Alabama. Violent felonies, arson, forgery, counterfeiting, any sex offense with someone under 16, drug trafficking, none other felonies, 3 years, or is 3 years. Conversion of state or county revenue, 6 years. Unlawfully taking or using temporarily the property of another, 30 days. Misdemeanors, the statute is 12 months. Arizona, this is important. Homicide, violence, sexual assault, misuse of public money, falsifying public records, none other felonies, 7 years statute of limitations.
Wait a minute, homicide is 7 years?
Yeah.
So it has to be first degree to be unlimited.
Crazy, huh?
Wow. Yeah, I thought murder
1 year.
was
Petty offense is 6 months.
Only first degree murder.
huh.
Let's check on the California Penal Code 799. Offense
Penal.
punishable by death or life imprisonment, embezzlement of public funds, numerous sex crimes, punishable by 8 or more years in prison. Statute of limitation is 6 years. Offenses punishable by imprisonment in general, 3 years.
Oh, so
That's crazy.
all that shit would have been done.
Yeah.
So
What
basically,
happens-
they just released his information to ruin his career, not to help anybody or to press charges.
Right.
That's just weird to me.
Delaware, murder, class A felonies, sex offenses, 5 years, unless forensic DNA evidence, then 10 years, because it's about deterioration of witnesses, right? That's crazy. 'Cause it's that the time lapse is based on credibility of evidence. So if you
But
can
you would
evade-
think with new DNA stuff that they can do now compared to what they couldn't do 50 years ago.
And that's the thing, the laws are not staying caught up with the technology.
that's why. Well,
They're
Delaware is because they've doubled it to 10 years if it's DNA based.
Yeah, but still some DNA can be very accurate even after 10 years.
Oh yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
you got to set a mark somewhere, right? Whenever they change the rules.
No, I would say murder is forever. I would.
Why?
Yeah, man.
Why wouldn't murder be forever?
Because the credibility of evidence.
Well, I think the burden of proof is then required to be prosecuted.
Right.
But,
And that's the part I don't like. Yeah.
the
all right.
DNA fucking turns up. The DNA fucking turns up.
Yeah, that's just weird. I really thought
Maybe-
I thought murder was
Dude,
forever.
I'd have been killing people like a long time ago.
Well, if I would have known that,
thing that gets me is and I'm trying to remember what I saw this on. I saw this on a show, like a true show, not a movie, but where they had the DNA profile for whatever, I don't remember what the crime was. And the statute of limitations was getting ready to run out, but they couldn't match the DNA with the person. And the courts actually let them file charges on the DNA. And if and when that person is identified, then that person will take place of the DNA
So
charge.
John Doe
Which
got
I
accused of
think
the
is
crime.
amazing. I think that shit should be like that.
That's like
You have the DNA. You know that this is the person that matches this DNA is the person that did it. Just
you're-
because of reasons like they left the state or the country or whatever, you can't find them. Why can you not still charge them? You
That's
know, you have the proof.
so if your kid is misbehaving and they hit somebody with a wiffle ball bat, do you put the wiffle ball bat on timeout?
I'm not understanding how that's
Yeah, I don't-
Jeff,
I don't-
Jeff
I
wants to
don't
talk
understand.
about guns.
I don't understand the analogy.
Charging a DNA sample with a crime. It's not a person.
It's part of that person.
I understand how DNA works.
Their
But
skin or their hair or
See,
their
that wasn't
blood
snarky
or-
at all.
I understand how it works, but you're literally telling me you're going to charge the sample that you collected at a crime scene with a crime.
Right. So if one ever comes up matching,
This is what happens.
Until they
There's
can-
a masseuse.
so are you
keeping
trying to
Jeff
say
a back
Epstein?
rub.
You're trying to say
Scratches his
Epstein
back.
didn't hang
Jeff's
himself.
DNA
Is that
is
what
under
you're
her
saying?
nails. She gets
I mean,
murdered.
until some of
Jeff
these
goes to
laws,
prison.
until some of these laws get caught up with the technology that we have now, I
You
think that's
can
kind of where it has
file
to
a
sit.
crime against a sample.
So is there a wiffle ball bat I need to hide for you? Is that what you were going with, or
No,
Only
like
because
it's like
like the
Only if
Beastie
she
Boys
did it
said,
like this, she did it
if
like
the-
that. She did it with the wiffle ball bat. So I'm Mike
Yeah.
D, and I'm here to say
and I did it with a wiffle ball bat. So
so.
I'm on the run. The cops got
There
my
you go,
gun.
my gun.
if a child is using an object and they're misbehaving, do you punish the object or do you punish the child? Where's
Take
the
that
issue?
kid out. Take that kid out.
I
I'm
break
personally
the
talking
object over
about,
the child's
like,
head.
It's like-
murder and sexual
much?
assault. I'm not talking about breaking something or hitting a person with a wiffle ball bat. I'm talking
It's
about
like-
murder and
to me,
sexual assault.
you're punishing the inanimate object.
No, you're not.
It's not going to be punished.
No,
It's
you're
gonna-
putting it on file. So when it ever gets matched up,
yes.
the person's gonna get.
the
you're-
person
you-
that
and
most-
also-
Taking advantage of
about-
a loophole.
What do you think about future crimes? Should a psychic be able to have you arrested for future crimes?
Well, is the psychic hot?
is it female or male?
Oh, if it's male, then no, because they're charlatans.
Think of Minority Report.
Yeah, I got it. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. Lug Philipcade Dick.
I get what you're saying. I just don't know how it.
Yeah,
is
because a
relevant to
crime
what
has
I'm
already been
saying.
committed, Jeffrey.
Yeah, it's already
It's
been
not like
committed.
it's not like you're saying, all right, we have this DNA on file.
He's just being Jeff, man. He's just
Oh.
debating for the sake of fucking debating.
He's a master. Hey, that's what
Watching
started
the-
this
you're
on her
filing
phone.
Watching
a
the
charge
two of
against
you
a hair
spin the
sample.
fuck out.
Like indicting a hair sample. That seems like weird to me. Like
Well, until we
No,
know it's
it's
a golden
indicting that-
retriever,
The person that matches that DNA sample.
well, how do you know though?
or maybe a Shih Tzu. They have hair.
Thought
right,
you
instead
knew
of
how
fur.
DNA works.
Funny name for a
I
dog.
do.
So what do you mean? How do you
So
know?
there's no testimony to be had aside from there's DNA found at this crime scene. Okay, we don't know whose it is. We can't.
No, I'm not talking about random DNA.
No, I know it's not random.
no,
It's
not random DNA. I mean-
We
I
wouldn't-
And
there
I don't know
has
if you
to
heard
be-
earlier, Jeff knows how DNA works.
I mean, I'm saying
I
there has to
heard
be
that.
very specific protocol for it. Very specific protocol. I'm not saying just, oh, someone died in this room. Look, we have a DNA sample that's in this room. That must be the killer. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's
I
other
still
evidence.
Can't believe how
There's-
hard you've hooked on this shit he's given you for the last 5 minutes.
Yeah,
I think that statute of limitations exists kind of like the lottery. Like, if you win, then they should leave you alone. Like, if you get past the 7 years, then you're free. Fuck them. Or
That's
it's like-
isn't that that's double
or it's-
jeopardy. I
I
saw that.
Double Jeopardy. That's different.
I
You-
saw
if
that
you-
Ashley Judd movie, and
If you
she
get
thought
found
she
not
deserved to
guilty,
get away with it.
they can't
Actually,
prosecute you
that
for the
wasn't a
same crime.
horrible movie either
It wasn't.
back in the day.
I think you should be able to murder somebody and get away with it, as long as you hit that statute of limitations. Then they got to leave you alone. Extending the statute by filing a charge against,
There's nothing like the first 48 to encourage this
DNA?
entire train of thought.
that's nuts.
We'll
That's
just agree to
nuts.
disagree. So
Listen, I only murder people in places where they don't know me because it's really easy that way. That's
Jeff's
what I heard.
just trying
You
to
ever-
erode their.
You ever hear the police talk about that? I was just being devil's advocate. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
I know.
Whatever.
I know.
Charge of DNA. Devil's advocate for this about this. Police will tell you if you want to get away with murder, it's easy. Murder somebody that doesn't know you, in a place where people also don't know you. Just go to a town, nobody knows you, murder the person, and then leave.
Is that what the police tell you?
They said based on
we are not. Shell
He knows
Council is
people.
not advocating murder, people.
No,
We're
no.
not
Yeah,
advocating
they
The
said
following
based-
comments are just fictitious.
It said the ability to collect forensic data and evidence is really hard. He goes, it's nothing like what you see on TV and movies. It's far more complicated than that to get it, which could actually support your argument that if they found the DNA, it's probably a pretty good shot that that's actually, the perpetrator's DNA.
This show brought to you by Lime Away.
Because they're yeah, nice.
Is there something
seriously,
smelling in
like,
a
if they-
hole that you've recently dug? Lime
Police-
Away will take care of that right away.
Police and detectives will tell you, like, if they just find somebody dead and they can't trace it back through relationships and they can't trace it back through but basically relationships is really what it comes down to. If the perpetrator is not somebody they know, there's no way you're ever going to link some random human to them. Plus, the amount of people who are in the DNA database, the crime database, are very limited. So you wouldn't know what to find when it comes to DNA unless it was obvious, like blood or something, from two sources.
I just want to hear him say perpetrator one more time.
Perpetrator.
Okay, thank you.
Perpetrator.
Do they
So-
sell that at F Street?
They said they can't
The
close those
perpetrator?
cases
Perpetrator H.
unless ooh,
Sounds
you know
like
what?
preparation age.
Apparently, cell phone activity, that's a dead giveaway. You shouldn't be texting your girlfriend while murdering your wife.
Oh,
They can find that shit out.
Oh, dude, you want to hear an interesting true story?
You say
Oh.
that again, Jeff? Cell
You
phone.
shouldn't text your girlfriend while you're murdering your wife.
Cell phone. No.
No.
You know,
Leave it at
Hey,
the office.
I'll,
kids at home shouldn't
Hey,
be
baby,
carrying
something
your cell
came up,
phone if you're doing any murdering.
something came up. It's a wild story. I'll get back to you in a little bit. And then
Yeah.
go murder your wife. Yeah, they can say.
No, I can't send you a dick pic right now. Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. It is hard. That's weird. That's such a strange. That's weird. That's weird. Hold on. She's still warm. So. What?
Oh,
What
you are
fucking just
messed
happened?
up. That went left.
The wheels
really
just came
fast.
off.
It's Jeffrey's fault.
Dude.
Once he starts doing that, my
Axel
mind,
sparking
my
on the concrete.
mind just, I hook up to that train and I just got to push it further and further and further. I apologize.
Yeah, you push that train like it's Friday.
Right off the tracks.
We were still on the tracks. We had a plan. And what?
Not it's chow time. All the boys are lined up.
Mm-hmm. Choo choo.
Yeah, with that hat, you'd make a good caboose.
Just as long as we know that I'm the last one. That's right. As long as we know. Little spoon.
No, baby, I'm the conductor.
It's conductor.
I'll line you
Just
guys
saying.
up like circus seals. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
No, I just want to go.
I'm gonna, you can bounce
was
that
thinking the
volleyball off your
horns.
nose.
Oh my god.
Oh, the horns. That's good.
I blame Jeffrey.
Yep, totally.
As you should.
We always do.
We had when I was staying with my brother during the pandemic, we had some cops catch some local kids that were stealing out of cars because they stole some shit out of a cop's car. But there was some witness had seen a general description of the kids,
They were
and
black.
so
Oh.
they were. We had them on video on my brother's security camera, but the cops came in and just hit the local cell tower and said, "What phones were in this area at 3 a.m.?" Targeted people within that age range, and there they were. There was only 3 of them. Went to their house, went, "Give us the shit." Like, imagine you ripped off a bunch of people. They show up with a cop at your door just because they were all cops, and
Genius.
they got busted and had to hand over all the shit.
Pull the battery out
Yeah, it's like, yeah, don't bring your phone.
and the SIM card.
Boom.
So
Better
when I lived on Long Island, our
Get a
apartment-
Faraday bag.
Yes.
or cage. I just want a cage. When I lived in Long Island,
Long Island.
Long Island, our apartment got broken into, and they stole the DVRs for DirecTV at the time, and that was, we're talking 25 years ago, so they were worth a lot of money.
Right.
And the cops like, well, we went to the apartment and the DVRs were there, and I was like, okay, but we couldn't prove that they were yours. I'm like, yeah, you can. It's real easy. I gave you the serial numbers. Well, we really can't do anything. So I go, I said, where's the apartment? And the cop went to go give me the address and realized why I asked him where the apartment was. And he went, I can't give you that information. We never had this conversation. Where's the apartment? He goes, Mr. Trapp, we're gonna have to stop having this conversation. It's like, okay.
Cool. Drop the paper with the apartment on it.
Yeah, just
You
where
walk
is that?
out.
Let me just look through your file. You like they do in the TV. Don't you have to take a call or take a piss?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to show up to the apartment. So, but they didn't let me. So those fucking cops.
What was their race?
No, they were white. They were absolutely white. Yeah, and I had an idea who it was too.
Ooh.
And I really, but I just needed that. I needed to know where the apartment was. If I could find out where the apartment was, both the guy and the girl would have had broken legs. They would have been, and I don't even know if I would have brought anybody else with me. I would have just brought my aluminum bat and got my shit back. It's a miracle. Look, DirecTV works again. Yeah, but the cop
Wow.
wouldn't give it to me. Yeah.
Somebody
Fuckers.
broke in the day after Christmas to my ex's house where my son was there, and it was the first year he got the Xbox, his first Xbox 360, so years ago. Broke in the day after Christmas, so everything's still sitting out. Wiped them out. Did so many people on that street, and like months and months and months later. I never understood, but there was some certain MO he did. I don't know, but months later they found the guy that did it, and nobody would come forward. And my ex was like, "Fuck that!" So he did, and they could link all of these, even though Eric was the only one that testified. And he got like 12 years in prison or something. Like
Wow.
big shit. Crime
Hey,
don't
when
pay, kids. Crime don't pay.
It really doesn't. I think Jeffrey will like this. I know he likes civil liberties. When I was growing up here in Houston, we lived in a relatively nice neighborhood, but there was a spree of break-ins of the homes in our neighborhood, on our block specifically. And we were like the third or fourth house to get hit, and our neighbor was out for a run and ran into these guys stealing our microwave, and they put a gun to his head. They told him if he called the police, and they pointed out, we know where you live. We'll come back and we'll kill you and your family. So he doesn't call the police. But by the time my mom and I get home from her work, because she closed down the business, we get there and police report comes in, everything. And that's when the neighbor came out. They broke into our house, ransacked everything, stole a bunch of stuff. So it was a big mess. And then it was like 2-3 weeks later, they were getting a little more brazen. Like they broke into the next neighbor's house while they were home sleeping. But they were super quiet, stole a bunch of shit, never woke anybody up. And then they decided to come in around 10 o'clock, the neighbor closer to the end of the street. They knocked on the door and pretended that their car was broken down and wanted to use the phone. Nice old man that answers the phone says they can, or answers the door rather, says, yeah, come on in, gives them the phone, and they pull guns on him and they're going to rob him. The wife comes out with a shotgun. Unfortunately, they kept their word. They killed the old man on the spot. And then grandma with a shotgun killed every single one of them. There was like 4 of them.
Good
Just
for
took
her.
them all out. Thus, the end of robberies on our street.
Good for her.
Yeah.
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 Fuck yeah.
Texas.
I'm gonna say that kind of shit doesn't happen here, dude.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't.
Shit
'Cause
gets on
everybody's
the
armed
news
here.
Yeah. Shit gets on the news here, man, where it's like,
Yeah,
you
it's-
know,
oh, it's
armed
all-
civilian saves blah 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 from like the shit that happened in Dallas, man. Like that shit
Yeah.
got taken out the airport. Like, I mean, that was a police officer, but she's
Well,
pretty
the-
nutty.
The kid in the mall.
Yeah,
Indiana?
that's what
it
I was
Indiana?
thinking about.
He killed this guy. He shot 10 times, hit him 8 from like 45 yards away in a food court. He put 8 in him. I'm hoping his other 2 didn't hit anybody else, but
Yeah.
they said that guy took him out so quick.
15 seconds.
Yeah. 15
He
seconds
came
from
out
when
and
that
he
guy
shot-
started
He
shooting.
shot 3 people in 15 seconds. The other guy pulled. Boom, 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 boom.
Emptied his clip right in the middle of him. Insane. Yeah, that shit doesn't happen here, dude. They don't, they just don't.
Arizona's been open carry. It's open carry state, right?
It's also you can
Yeah.
also conceal carry. We have no rules here.
There's no
Yeah, it's the
regulation.
same. It's the same way here.
I remember
No,
it was like it was
Texas just became that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've had it forever.
15 years.
Yeah, I mean,
I remember when it happened. It was like the next day I went out and everybody had fucking guns on their hips,
Oh yeah.
and like gangbangers had. It was weird, man. I was in like Harbor
they were
Freight.
very unarmed. Very.
Yeah, like this. I remember this gangbanger walks in with his his pants sagging to below his ass and shit, and he's got a gun in his belt, which is wrapped around the bottom of his or the top of his thighs. Didn't feel safe, and then it fell out because his pants were not secure. And then people got a little bit nervous, and then all of a sudden there was like 5 other citizens, and they had their hands on their fucking hips immediately. They're like, "You all right, buddy?" Yeah. Oh yeah. I just dropped my pistol. I was like, all right. Well, you should secure that thing. And I'm like, I'm standing there. I'm like, oh, like
Shit was gonna
I'm
go
nervous
down.
as Fuck, it's gonna be a shootout, and I'm in the middle of it. I'm like, I suck your dick. Just let me go.
Yeah, man.
But it was
Everybody
crazy.
50 and older here, they're healed. All
when
of them.
when the gangbanger looking kid like picked his stuff up and he pulled his pants up and he secured his belt and then he put it in, and he goes, I got to get a holster for this. It's not safe. And they're like, yeah. And then they started talking to him like, you should. Here's a place where you can go. They got pretty good ones. You can find them online. They just start like helping him secure his gun better, and then stopped with an assumption that it was anything other than he was.
Yeah.
He was, yeah, it's his right. He was just exercising his right to carry. It was scary at first, but it was nuts. It was really interesting to see them come together quickly too. Like, oh, okay, it's cool. Yeah, we got it. This is new. Let's plan ahead though, as opposed to this black guy got a gun. That's what I did.
Shit.
I was like, "Sah!"
Most of the shootouts here, man, it's
I've-
it's gang on gang violence.
Oh yeah.
But shit goes down. Like we had a shootout like it's one of the wealthiest malls in America. It's just 5 dudes on 5 dudes. They had it on everyone's video from their phones and everything.
Sounds like
blowing each
porn
other
that
away.
Missy usually watches.
Oh man, I guess I pulled a Missy. I just set that one up.
Woo! Thank you, Mark.
Yeah. In her scenario, they're all wearing cowboy hats, though. I just want to
Oh,
let you
yes.
know it's not like they're not like hats like this one. They're cowboy hats.
I wish I could quit you.
Tiffany's I Think I'm Alone Now playing in the background. Yeah.
Is that because it's a mall or?
Hey, if it was 5 guys were getting loaded up on me,
We're
I'd feel
alone
all of a
Ride
sudden
that
quite
pony,
alone.
baby.
Oh, it would just be another
Stout ya
Thursday, Mark.
pony.
Is that
It
Giovanna
would just be
What are we
Ribisi?
even there?
Thursday.
I'm picturing Giovanna
Friday.
Ribisi dancing to I Think We're Alone Now and like drinking out of a cup like this. What movie was that?
I
Ted?
don't know.
Fuck.
I don't know, man.
It was Ted.
Was it? Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
he
So
was
why'd
like-
you say fuck? I said it right away.
Gone in 60 seconds? No.
I thought you were
No.
talking about retarded people.
No, the name of the movie was Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard Ted. I was thinking Ted like retarded people.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
you asked a question what movie it was. And the
Thank
only
you.
reason I know that is a
Thank
TikTok the other day. He's in a Teenage Mutant Ninja turtle suit at Comic-Con, and all the Ted dolls are there. And he goes, "Oh, you know that song, that Neil Diamond sings at all the Red Sox games." And he starts singing Sweet Caroline. He goes, Sweet Caroline. And then Ted goes, Bob, Bob, Bob. It's the only reason I know. And I'm
Ted?
not high. Could you imagine that? I was high right
Can I
now.
imagine that you're not high? No. Yes, I can.
Okay. Oh, Lord. We're just going to see shootouts.
Last night he was trying to show
That is correct.
body cam shootings.
Law enforcement officials
Yeah.
say that the
Come on, Gabby.
Why is his
I
first
love the
name
one when
Gabby?
the cowboy gets pulled over for his DUI. You guys seen that TikTok video where he goes through and says you can't do the sobriety test, so he keeps doing like dance moves from like the country bar.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And she's like, "Are you a dancer?" He's like, "No, I'm just drunk."
Shooters are known gang members from Brooklyn with violent criminal histories.
Okay. Now that it's loaded, we can see it. Gabby Acevedo.
Come on, Gabby.
police officers were right here on the block on West 38th Street when the shooting started. Police officers seen on security video making arrests after 3 people were wounded in a gang shootout. This all happening Tuesday night around 10:30. The gunfire stemming from an altercation inside a venue rented for a rap music performance in Midtown. The video shows a dark car double parked on West 38th Street. You can see 4 men who left the club walking towards another car. Police say 2 people inside the dark sedan get out and shoot the other men who fire back.
They just pulled them in the hallway. They pulled them in the hallway and told them to stay there.
Police confirm a 37-year-old man was shot in the stomach and a 24-year-old shot in the chest. The third victim is a 19-year-old man who was found with a gunshot to his leg on East 37th Street and Madison Avenue. Police recovered 3 guns at the scene, arresting 3 men. Behind me, you can see that the investigation continues at the club that's located on the 4th floor on 38th.
This is New York, right?
Street. The 3 men that were shot were taken to the hospital. All are expected to recover. Reporting live from Midtown, Gabby Acevedo, News 4, New York.
I'm going to say that they probably don't have their carry permit in New York. But those laws are going to stop stuff like this from happening.
All right.
Yeah.
Just so fast. Just like that. Done.
Well, if you make something illegal, then automatically it ends, right?
Nobody does it. I mean,
That's why there's no violence in Chicago.
right.
My kind of town.
And my company was like, hey, we may have to send you to Chicago. I said, did I do something to piss somebody off? Why would you send me to Chicago? well, no, we want to close this deal with this really big company. Yeah, okay, again, why do I have to go to Chicago? Well, that's where they're based out of, John. There are these Zoom meetings, right? These Zoom meetings that we have been doing for 2 years. I don't want to go to Chicago. What the fuck
And
do I want to go to
short
Chicago?
layover in Detroit. It's gonna be fun.
No thanks. Oh, thank you. No interest.
Why not?
I'll go to El Cajon, but I will not go to Chicago, Detroit, or Manhattan.
And there's some.
Yeah, that's true. You can always suck some dick and get your way out of El Cajon.
That's true. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt.
Thought it was a pillowcase.
No,
Hey-o.
he took it as a trophy.
Thought you were gonna say took it like a champ. Is John
What?
frozen?
Well, thank God gangbangers are such marksmen. Why the fuck you coming over the top of your car? Go to the side.
This always works.
Yeah.
Thank God gangbangers are such marksmen. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if they were any better, there would be no more gangbangers. I mean, they just take them all each other out.
They do take each other out right in the bullseye.
Not often enough.
Rival gang shootout at car wash.
Not often enough. Absolutely. It's like a train wreck down there.
Was that out loud? Oops.
Oh, man. That's a bunch of swinging dicks. You just never know what's going to happen.
Only if Jeff sends you the video, then there's a swinging dick.
And we know what's gonna happen. Yeah.
I thought then that meant, we know what's going to happen.
Someday I'm going to be able to afford a computer with RAM.
Is that a dick joke somewhere in there?
No.
No.
No, just no. Oh, actually, I forget I have this laptop down here that I paid like $1,200 for. It's like an i7 with like 32 gig of RAM. I guess I should. Why don't I use that for the show? Why do I use this fucking
Why don't you?
piece of garbage?
You're all speaking languages I don't understand, so.
It has faster brain speed.
Oh, so you could play videos without them.
Yeah, without having to like toggle on and off it in order to, yeah. It actually,
Like, glitch.
yeah. Instead of using a computer that has no video card and no hard drive on it.
Shows members of two rival gangs opening fire right in the middle of this busy Denver car wash and right in front of kids.
2 people were killed. One of the gang members was sentenced in federal court today. And only on Denver 7, Jennifer Kowaleski
Sure, he
sat
was
down
ROR,
with the
though.
ATF. Jen, they were able to charge this guy even though they never found the gun.
And the ATF says it's rare they're able to file federal charges without a weapon. But thanks to the video and shell casings left behind from all of these bullet holes, they were able to charge him. Tonight, we're getting a rare look inside the case.
It was the middle of the afternoon at a popular gas station.
A beef between the Crips and Bloods. Gunfire just steps away from 2 innocent young children at this car wash off 35th and Downing.
You see those 2 kids there in the minivan, and every time I think, thank God they weren't hit.
It starts when the guy in white notices a group of rival gang members.
Some posturing going on, and just about in a split second, you're going to see gunfire.
2 people are hit. The guy in white runs back to the car wash, gets the gun from his friend, and fires back.
There it is. And then if you notice the shell casing went on top of the vehicle there, that's going to be later recovered by investigators.
Chris Ammon with the ATF says it's that
Oh, this
evident,
guy's
along
walking.
with the video, that helped put 39-year-old Dietrich Mayfield behind bars.
It is rare that ATF charges just ammunition, but in this case, we were able to ensure that he was taken off the street.
Ammon says they usually need the smoking gun or firearm to charge someone.
In this case, we never recovered the firearm, but the statute says firearm or ammunition. So you don't necessarily need the firearm to charge a convicted felon.
Which is why the
filed it on the
ATF
DA.
says it hopes Mayfield's sentence sends a strong message.
We won't tolerate that here, and we will get you by any means necessary.
Tomorrow marks the anniversary of the shootout.
Isn't that
Mayfield pled
self-defense?
guilty and will spend close to 5 years in federal
You didn't fire
prison.
first.
I'm Jennifer Kowaleski for Denver 7.
Why wouldn't that be self-defense?
I don't know.
If someone starts shooting at you and then you shoot back after running and taking cover.
once you run to a place where most people would consider you safe, like in a car wash thing, at that point when you're firing back, I think it's probably gratuitous and can't fall underneath imminent danger, I would think at that point.
I don't know.
Us.
Oh my
I just
God.
wish they had better aim.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
Yeah, that's good. Stay by
Fucking
the
war
window.
zone.
Stay by the window, though. That's smart. That glass will protect you.
But, I mean, if you're gonna take the video, zoom in.
Are those cars upside
Ran the
down?
car off the road, flipped it over, and the guys got out of the cars and just started fucking shooting at each other.
Then yes,
Fully
the
automatic
answer.
weapons.
Didn't sound like automatic weapons.
Oh my
Oh,
fucking God.
Chicago gun laws saved us again.
Yeah.
Nice hotel choice.
Actually, that looks like a nice area too when it comes to Chicago.
I tried calling 911, no response. I hear sirens coming in the distance. They're pulling people out of this car right now. They just pulled one guy out. His legs aren't working.
Wow.
Holy shit.
This guy's voice sounds enough like John's that every time he says "holy shit," I'm like, "Is that John just say that?"
So this one looks violent. It's only 26 seconds. I hope she came first.
It's a
Probably
race.
not.
It's a race. Then she loses. That's how it works.
She loses.
Just saying.
Here we go. Wow.
Oh, they come from everywhere.
Chicago again.
A 1-month-old baby got shot.
Inglewood.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Inglewood's
that's
LA.
California, no?
Yeah. Yep.
But it says CWB Chicago.
Oh, there
Yeah,
could
there
be-
could be. There's an
Gang
Inglewood in Denver too. There could be more than one. It could be Chicago too. There's more than one Inglewood.
Sound like Jeff now on how he knows what DNA, how that works.
I know what Inglewood is.
I've looked at a map.
You get into Inglewood, you get gat.
You get.
My kind of town.
Inglewood.
Chicago is my kind of razzmatazz.
I thought it was supposed to be Vegas.
What?
Ocean's 11. My kind of town. Sinatra, isn't it?
I have to pee.
Well, it's bedtime anyway.
It
Yeah,
is.
it's 2 a.m. here. I gotta bounce.
In this community, and we need it now.
Drive by. All right, that's enough. Cool. Love one another. Love yourself.
Thank you very
Aw.
much.
No,
Is that how it goes?
too. Love yourself
That's how it
well.
goes.
Make sure you bring your pillowcase.
That is
I'm
it.
about to love myself here. I got everything I need.
Yes, it would not be a show.
Oh,
We did not see the lotion.
Stretch.
I kind of razzmatazz.
Wow.
Shelf Help Show. Tell a friend, check it out.
Definitively.
We covered statute of limitations. We covered charging DNA for crimes. We covered shootouts in Chicago. We covered black people doing bad things. What else?
We covered your pillowcase with
My pillowcase. Yep. What else?
If she didn't leave the panties right there on the bed for you, Jeff, I mean, she was asking for it.
I've never locked myself behind a door to avoid.
With a dresser.
She's got the eye. Come on, man. She's got the eye of the tiger. There's no way she wears panties.
All right.
The wild roar of the Yeti. You know, just like.
I love you.
Have a wonderful evening, kids.
Bye, guys.
You too.
Right.
See you later.
Check out that Sasquatch porn. All right.
Oh no.
I'm having nightmares now. Thanks, Mark.
You're welcome.
Bye.
I keep trying to log out, but the screen keeps moving.
I know. What did it say? No, assign and leave. What?